Hey guys, are you putting your life on hold because the banking cartel won't give you financing? In this video, I'll show you why every day you wait to invest in real estate, you're losing around $1,400. And why, if you're already investing but you're not using alt bank solutions, you too are missing out on $1,400 each and every day. That's because every time you can't or don't get a property because interest rates are too high, or you need to build up a down payment, or you lack the credit requirements, you're missing out on 2 to 5 deals a month. But by sidestepping those things holding you back and slowing you down, you can do those deals you're missing out on without being dependent on banks, without a care about interest rates, without needing a down payment or credit, and without finding money to pay for the property. How do I know? Because every single one of my last 3,200 real estate transactions were done without any bank financing, without any down payment or credit, and without using any of my own money to pay for the properties. My name is Scott, the founder of HouseBuyer, the company that popularized the We Buy Houses model of investing, and I built a $12 million real estate portfolio along the way. I did that by using alt bank solutions to own and control real estate without banks. I didn't just avoid banks, I replaced them. When I first developed the alt bank solutions, it generated me $42,000 a month and has continued to grow from there. Today, I teach those same solutions to my clients, and the 40K a month rev is the baseline we shoot for in as little as 90 days. But when I started in real estate, I was doing what everyone else did. I'd go to a bank, jump through the bank hoops like a trained dog, and then sit on my hands and wait for an approval, hoping the deal would still be there by the time it came in, which often it didn't come in, and I got denied. But that only works for so long because banks limit the number of loans you can have, and because the banks are involved, the margins are so small, the requirements are never ending, and you just can't scale that type of business. Even though Fannie Mae increased the maximum finance property limit from 4 to 10. Very few lenders actually offer the program because investor mortgage applications are hard work and time intensive. And even if you do find a bank that does it, to qualify for just 10 properties under this program, you need a 720 credit score, 25% down for every property, no foreclosures or bankruptcies, no late payments, and substantial cash reserves just sitting there idle. So let's be brutally honest about what really happens to a bank dependent investor. The time suck nightmare is first and foremost to a lot of us. The average bank dependent investor spends 32 hours on gathering documents, talking and meeting with the loan officers, and filling out the bank paperwork for every single deal, like I say, most of which never even close. That's 32 hours that you can never get back, and you could have spent with your family or building a business or doing your hobbies. And then next is the humiliation factor. After all the time and effort, the constant rejections stop most people right there. Most can't handle the humiliation of so many turndowns, the embarrassment of explaining to their family why yet another deal has fallen through and is becoming a regular occurrence. But even for the best of us investors, it really slows us down. No dough, no go. Most subtle is the rejections that can mess with your psyche because you could start to second guess your numbers and the belief in your deals and your ability to find the deals and negotiate the deals. And by the way, if you're worried if you've got a deal or not, I can provide a second set of expert eyes to help analyze deals. I can give you reliable answers on the property or terms you're considering. So if you think that would be helpful, just click the link in the description. And next is the banking cartel terms. You may have a good deal, but the terrible bank financing terms make your deal now unprofitable. Every time you pay their high interest rates, the bank celebrates. Every time you jump through their hoops, you lose more control of your business, and they're counting on you to stay exactly where you are, dependent on their lending. And getting commercial loans required even more hoops, paperworks, and requirements, and the interest rates are even higher. My mentor once told me that the reason banks have suckers at the teller counters is to train you to be a sucker. So it's no wonder that so many investors are sitting on the sidelines, waiting for some miracle that would allow them to get started or take their investing to the next level and scale. But while you're sitting on your hands, the clock is ticking on your financial freedom. Financial freedom is being put on hold, and while you're waiting for the perfect market conditions, that baseline of $40K a month turns into $480,000 a year you lost out on. That's a retirement fund vanishing into thin air while you're sitting on your hands waiting. My bank alternative methods may be that miracle you're waiting on. It was a miracle for me and every client I show this to. My proprietary system completely bypasses the banking cartel and is the fastest, easiest path to doing real estate deals in today's market. And this isn't theory. I've personally tested this and used these strategies in over 14 states to acquire properties without a single bank loan. And I've taught investors from all over the U.S. how to do the same with an average closing time of just 14 days from deal identification to keys in hand. Now, here's what makes this revolutionary. First, it's the deal closing speed. 14 days, like I said, instead of the 60, 90 days with a bank. And while your competition is still waiting for a loan approval, you're already collecting rent or flipping it. And next is the financial freedom. No more proving your income, credit checks, no more explaining your employment history. The only qualification you need is the desire to succeed. And I think you ticked the box if you're watching this video. Next is the profit maximization. You keep 100% of your profits instead of handing over 15% to the banks like the mafia in interest rates and fees and closing costs and junk fees. That's an extra $15,000 on every $100,000 deal. And then, of course, the unlimited scaling. With no bank-imposed limits on the number of properties you can acquire, you can build your portfolio as fast as you can find deals. Some of my clients acquired over 10 properties in their first 90 days using these methods. And next is the bulletproof portfolio. Your properties are protected from the interest rate fluctuations and bank policy changes. While other investors are panicking about rate hikes, your cash flow remains stable and predictable. And then finally, the time reclamation, spending 90% less time on the paperwork and meetings and all the other junk that goes along with it, the begging for loans and gathering the endless documents. Your time is better spent finding deals than filling out forms. Being an investor is not paperwork, is not filling out forms. Being an investor is analyzing deals, doing the top level things. So now it's your move. Every day you wait, the banking cartel wins. Every deal you can't close on, the competition gets richer, and every hour you spend researching interest rates or bank loans is another hour you could be using the alt bank strategies to build wealth. So if you want my guidance with that, I'll teach you my alt bank strategies, allowing you to find, negotiate, and close deals that others simply can't. On a free strategy call, I'll show you exactly how the system works, how you can literally plug in the system, turn the dials to your market and company name, and push play, and this will begin making you money. In a no fluff, no hype strategy session, we'll identify exactly where the banking system is costing you money right now, create a personalized plan to acquire your first bank-free property within 14 days, and then I'll answer any specific questions you have about my alt bank strategies and how they apply to your market, your niche, and your situation. And this isn't a sales pitch. It's a strategy session. I guarantee you'll walk away with at least one actionable insight that will make you money, even if we don't work together. The banking cartel is counting on your hesitation right now. The Federal Reserve is betting on your compliance, and your competition is hoping you maintain the status quo. Prove them wrong. It's your move. Talk with you soon.